On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles Suicide Squad, the new 52 Harley Quinn. This new 3-pack, this new 3-figure release, contains 3 characters, 3 different team members from the new Suicide Squad. This is the Harley Quinn figure, now taken from the new 52 look. And certainly before we actually have a look at the figures as a whole, there are certainly going to be 3 of them. I just want to comment on the price. So I paid $27.99 for this figure, which seems to be the going rate of not only the DC Direct, and Spot really doesn't want to just nitpick the DC Direct or DC Collectibles line, but really figures as a whole. There's a lot of companies that are going to the more high-end, and you notice Spot's doing this a lot, or I may do this a lot more in the review, but a lot more high-end in the way of collectibles. And when they start going to high-end figures or start treating them as high-end, they now have started to ask a little more for them. And figures like this, certainly a year ago, probably would have been about $18, certainly a lot less than $20. They would have been probably about $18 a piece. And not only are you getting the DC Collectibles figures now showing around $27.99, but you're also getting things like Marvel Legends, where they're already surpassing $25 a figure. That's pretty ridiculous, and really when you start thinking about where they might be a year from now, are we expecting to be paying around $35 a figure? Is that where we're really going to be going? Because I can honestly tell you, I don't think that a figure, as nice as it may be, I don't think a figure is worth $28 and up. Needless to say, though, you can see that the figure does come with 2 pistols, also comes with a sledgehammer. On the side of the package, there's a picture of the figure. Figure measures approximately 6.75 inches tall. This is sculpted by Jack Matthews. On the back of the package, be on the lookout for the other 2 figures available in this set. We have Captain Boomerang and Deadshot. Read-up says, spice up your action figure collection with Harley Quinn, one of the sadistic members of the Suicide Squad, based on their new designs from the DC New 52. Actually, from DC, the New 52. For product info and more, go to dccomics.com. There's a comic shop locator service also available at comicshoplocator.com. Spot's going to take himself a break, and I'm going to get this opened up. And actually, there's a nice design of Harley on the side there. But I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Harley Quinn. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. For your accessories, Harley Quinn does come with a sledgehammer. Not really a lot to be said for the sledgehammer. In fact, it's real irregular shaped head to the sledgehammer itself. The handle is a very simplistic brown. There's no additional washes or anything like that, nor is there a grain to it to indicate that this perhaps could be a wood handle. You're just getting a brown handle, and then you're getting the top here. As it goes for sledgehammers that have been included with Harley, and Harley always tends to come with a sledgehammer, I would say probably this one is the most anticlimactic. There's really nothing all that exciting about the sledgehammer. In fact, it just looks like a shape on top of a stick. But I mean, it's all right, but it's nothing spectacular. Moving to the territory of more spectacular items, at least she comes with some really nice pistols, 2 of them, and they appear to be the exact same pistol, of course, just times 2. Nice detailing on the pistol. It's almost like a dark gunmetal metal coloring, metallic coloring. She does have the ability to not only hold the pistols, which you can just snap into her hand. They go in relatively easy. I mean, there's no issues at all putting them in. However, you can also take the pistol, and she has 2 side holsters. You just tuck them into the sides, like so, and take the other gun out of her hand. Also peg that into, or put it into the side holster, and at least they're out of the way. So if you prefer your Harley more with the hammer, that's not an issue. At least the everything really is on the figure. You don't have all these extra things kicking around. She does also seems to have a smaller hand, so I would suggest, if anything, if you're going to have her with the sledgehammer, it's probably better to have it in her hand, probably on this hand here. This hand's a little too loose. But mallet, sledgehammer, really whatever you want to call it, it's all right, but it's nothing fantastic. The figure itself isn't bad. Now, I went through actually a couple of these to pick out what I believed was the better of the lot. The figure itself is pretty good, whether you perhaps like the designs of this Harley or not. I know many purists, perhaps possibly even myself, still wish they could just go back to the jester outfit style Harley Quinn, but it seems like ever since like the DC, when we started getting to like the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City games, it really seemed like Harley moving to a more, I don't want to say a more realistic outfit, but definitely her days as the jester probably were numbered. But it seems like there's so many more Harleys coming up as more just a girl wearing like a bodice or some sort of outfit than a full decked out outfit. And I guess they're trying to really sell that she's more a symbol, a sex symbol. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the figure as a whole isn't bad if you are a fan of this design. If you're not a fan of this design, probably no matter what this figure looks like, you just will not be interested. Face-wise, from certain angles, she looks pretty good, actually. The eyes look pretty solid. Nice coloring, nice light reflection off the eyes there. From some angles, and certainly in packaging, she looks a little round, which kind of seems like it's an ongoing issue with Harley Quinn figures too. Harley Quinn figures, there's a lot of them where the face is just really round. But when you start angling the head in a certain way, kind of when you get it out of packaging, you start playing with the figure itself, you can see that it's not really a super round face. It's just perhaps a combination of the lighting and the coloring that they used on the plastic. But she's definitely got a lot of good coloring to her. Now, I had mentioned that I actually picked out a couple of these because there were a few issues where some of the paint was just messy. This particular one doesn't seem to have any problems whatsoever with the paint. Paint not only in the blue and the red hair, but also in the black and the flesh color, though as pale as it might be, all work really, really well when you find the right figure. Again, I would say, especially with Harley, maybe not so much the other two, but especially with Harley, do be a little choosy when picking out this figure, that especially the eyes and the face area isn't too messed up. The smile works, and it's a good sculpt on the face, at least in the smiling aspect of it. It would have been nice, really, and there's really not many Harleys that have extreme facial expressions, like the pouty face, or maybe like a tongue sticking out. Something like that would have maybe just made this more than just another smiling Harley Quinn. But the coloring works all really, really well. The coloring in the bodice works nice. It's a nice coloring of the blue and the red, and it looks like they've gotten really away from the idea of a black and red costume and now have gone more to the blue and the red, which is an opinion that I probably will share with others when I say that I kind of wish I miss the black and the red, but perhaps for things such as the lacing in her top bustier or corset or whatever that this is, the black of the lace and the black of the belt and everything else pop more, certainly when you have blue and red versus if it was just an all black and all red outfit. She's kind of got these like thigh-high socks going on there. Some nice detailing, and you can see the texture print in the socks themselves. And then, of course, her red and blue shoes. It's definitely got a more circus performer, more of a... I really don't know what to call it. It's not so much... It's almost like a pantomime-style outfit. It's something more... It's got more of a stage look to it than what originally Harley was. And again, this may not impress everybody. Some people may be turned off the idea that Harley is looking like this more so, and less what she used to look. She also got a little bit of a cape here that, luckily, actually, I like this piece that it is a moving piece. Not to say that you can't move it left and right and, you know, pose in a certain way, but it also, by having the collar in there as well, it kind of cuts up a little bit of her neck. You can kind of, maybe perhaps if it was just a little further down, and maybe even perhaps if it was glued down, the neck would look a little longer and she wouldn't look as cut off neck-wise in the in this section really up. But again, it's a good look. But again, I think for me, it's something that she looks better, I think, from a side than she does in the front. The front, she does look a little more round than really what she is. Articulation-wise, by the way, she does have a ball joint in the head. It does move up and down, left and right. Shoulders are on a hinge socket, so they do rotate forward, back, out. Rotation in the bicep, a bend in the elbow, only a single bend in the elbow. She doesn't have any sort of swivel in the wrist, likely due to the fact that because this is just a sculpted piece, they obviously didn't want to break that up with any wrist swivel. She doesn't have any, from what I can tell, a waist swivel either, so a lot of the additional articulation relies solely on the legs by moving back and forth, not really even out, and a bend at the knee, rotation in the mid-thigh, and nothing really in the feet either. Something really also, too, is if the figure is $27, and, you know, if this is what the going price is going to be for starting with a lot of these figures, could they not have given us also a display base? She has the peg hole intended really for a display base, but we got nothing with it. And with that, I just kind of feel like, once again, you continue to up the price, you kind of have to also do a corresponding upping of what you're getting with the figure. Sculpting and everything else aside, sculpting may be great and all, but when you start getting to a $27 figure, you really got to start asking yourself, what else am I going to be getting with it besides just the figure and just a couple of pistols and of course the sledgehammer. This is probably the equivalent, I would say, of perhaps a root beer, and in the sense that it may not be for everybody, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, this particular design of Harley Quinn, but I would say it's still a faithful transition from what she looked like in the comics currently to what we're getting now. Whether this is really what you could perceive Harley Quinn should look like, well, that's certainly another topic altogether. Harley Quinn, I'm going to give her, for what she's done, you know, and certainly what they've done with the figure itself, I'm going to give Harley Quinn a 7.5, but certainly as a side note, I do miss the old look of Harley Quinn. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Collectibles Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Stay tuned. Spot's going to have the review of the other two figures as well. Those will be right around the corner. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys, and certainly stay tuned. Spot's going to have a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.